Hey and see. Not our finest work, but, I feel like.
Why do we have to comment it on every time?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm out of the gate when I feel it.
Okay. How's your week been?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's all the candy. I hate all that candy. And time has like really become elastic, much like
detoxing
from
the
Twizzlers.
sugar.
That was good though, wasn't it? It was pretty good.
What, Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, first year.
First in the hood.
In our new hood, I stayed back handing out candy. I was a good mummy and invited my ex-husband and his wife and their
More power
child.
to you.
I know. But everything was fine.
It's all good.
I know, it's all good in the hood. And we had neighbors come over. There were a couple of super scary costumes.
Yes.
There was one at the end that
the dude with
that
the cleaver,
killer
the fake
clown.
cleaver. Yes.
Yeah, total teenage costume there. And after that one, I was like, okay, good night, folks.
It's definitely like a breakdown between like the 6 to like 7 crowd of like the little kids, and then as they trickled in later, the content of the costume got a little creepier.
It's pretty fast and furious, but the kids just get so anxious early on that it's just kind of hard to hold them back.
I know. They're like straining at the leash.
Yeah.
Mighty Neighborly had their mayoral debate Monday. I forgot about that.
How did that go?
Pretty good, I think. I mean, I don't know if it's going to change anybody's mind. I mean, I think it's kind of like one of those change election deals where you're either going to vote for sort of the experienced candidate, which is the current mayor, Lydia Lavelle, or you want to make a change and you think change is good, and you pick Mike Benson. So I mean, they're both great folks, and I think they would both do an excellent job. So I mean, I really wouldn't have a problem either way.
Right. Yeah, I think both of them love Carborough.
Yep.
Have great things to offer Carborough. I think Mike is more of a creative business type.
Yeah.
Lydia is probably more social, and because her background is, was she a
She's done a lot more, lawyer and more government.
Right.
She's
more government focused, so she knows all the ins and outs of that.
Yeah, that was the one thing I think with all that. I mean, Mike, I think, brought some pretty serious knowledge, and especially making sure that he was out in the community talking to people. She was able to talk about sort of from the governmental boards and commissions all the things they had done.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, I'm not sure if I would consider that like one person had the edge, but that's sort of an indicator.
They're different. They're both good. I think they would both be fine. Speaking of which, this is going to air Monday, so vote on Tuesday.
Right.
Get your vote on.
So it's past Phil and Shannon talking to future you.
Right. So what do you think about Stranger Things? Without giving any spoilers. The second one. As opposed to the first one. It's a little different.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was a little scarier. Or,
the first, well, first of all, there's always this problem when you have like this really great first season, like, because inevitably, like, the second season gets compared, and you go, because it doesn't have the initial impact, the first impression. Like, the story, you have a foundation of experience, so that second one, you're kind of like, yeah, I would have done this differently. But I thought it was good. I mean, I feel, which is I can't say anything. I just realized that. The thing I liked about it was pretty much just sort of the vibe, the ambiance, the whole 80s thing, I guess. I really enjoyed that. And sort of the various references to like the classic, well, I'm not sure if they're classic, but horror films of that era. I really liked that.
Takes us back to our childhood.
Yes.
Which is interesting because the writer-directors, the Duffer Brothers, who grew up in Durham, which is so cool. But they were born like the year that this is, set in, I think. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting that they do have all this. They are bringing in all this nostalgia. I bet they have some writers who are like our age writing
That, and
to
they've
kind
got
of
like all these
make it a little
researchers.
more, make it a little more
Well, that's interesting.
true.
That's an interesting thought, though, because I know, being born in 1970, I kind of find that era
Yeah.
interesting. Like,
Right.
what was happening before I, showed up on the scene.
Right.
So maybe that's, I mean, do you feel like you were born in 76?
Uh-huh.
So do you have like a thing for 1976 or
Totally.
75?
I mean, I totally have like a kinship to hippies, the late 70s to, but I have a kinship to like the 50s and 60s
Right,
too.
yeah.
Not necessarily like how they were treating women back then, but
Right,
the
yeah.
music, the style, the clothes, like stuff like that. The rebellion, the revolution in the air, things like
Yeah,
that.
no, yeah.
No, I definitely have a kinship to that. So I can, maybe that kind of speaks to why they are like choosing this period instead of like the 90s or the 2000s where they were kind of.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think they're like 33 now, which
Yeah.
still doesn't seem that young, but I mean, it seems kind of far away from me.
Like, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
when
remember
that
my
deal when you're
30s.
like, oh, remember that time we blah, 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 blah? Yeah, that was 30 years ago. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh,
holy
yeah.
cow. Yeah, because, and 30 years ago isn't even, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the late 80s.
Yeah.
That's 1987. So,
Well, I know in this season, like I've seen on Facebook, several of my friends, like some in Austin and some in Chattanooga, Tennessee, really had some passionate words for episode 7. I'm not going to give it away, but just the style, the punk.
oh,
bringing in the
yeah,
punk, like,
yeah.
I think there were some, they were kind of really super upset about it, like not being, I don't know, like not being authentic or being
Yeah.
too cheesy, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of movies that I saw back then that brought in punk, they were cheesy.
Right, yeah.
They didn't, they weren't authentic punks. And also, I kind of feel like the people, they aren't like real punks. Like they're not listening to the music. This isn't about a documentary about punks.
All right.
This is more like just to show that they are kind of outsiders and that they aren't dressing like, the people in Pretty in Pink and things like, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I saw something.
It's interesting to see how the reactions to that episode specifically.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was Slate, somebody wrote about it, and they were like, it was like a really harsh critique.
Oh yeah,
And
that.
I kind of agree with you. I almost wonder if it's not so much like a comment on punk as it is a comment on the 1980s filming of punk, like the infamous Quincy episode, or wasn't there like an after school special? I think Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
When my kid turned punk or
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like is it referencing punk or referencing or 80s
Right.
attempt at
Yeah.
documenting punk or something like that. Yeah. I remember it was in Star Trek too.
Oh, really?
Remember? Yeah, no, Star Trek 3, right? What the one with the whales and they go and Spock comes back from the dead or something like or,
Right.
and he's got amnesia. They go back to San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
There's this scene where Captain Kirk and Spock are on a bus, and of course there's this, leather jacketed mohawk guy with a boombox listening to punk, and they say, "Excuse me, sir, could you turn that down?" And he cranks it up, and he gives them the finger, and then Spock does the Vulcan sleep thing, and everybody on the bus goes,
Yeah. Well, I think back then, like all the TV shows had like a punk episode, like Mama's Family, like
Yeah.
Different Strokes. I mean, just anything that was around back then probably had like a punk episode where they were trying to like put in a different
right,
look
go
or
make it
whatever.
gritty.
But but that kind of stays true to that time period. It was all cheesy, like how they portrayed it. So then they're portraying.
They're filming the cheese.
Right, they're not filming
Hey,
authenticity.
it's our
it's
upcoming
not
guest,
like-
Michael Rank.
Oh, so we should stop the chit chat.
Yeah, I guess we should tell everybody
Tell
that
them to come.
Michael Rank is coming.
Yes.
And wait. You gotta remember,
What?
don't say coming up soon or coming up. We say next.
Next is Michael Rank.
All right. See you. Can't help it. I don't know what it is.
It's okay. You do you, honey.
Okay. Thank you.
Look out my window, watching as she passes by. Said to myself, such a lucky guy. Have a girl like her. Simply a dream come true. All girls in New York, she loves me true. It was just my imagination running away with me now. It was just my imagination running away with me now. Said we'd be married, gonna raise a family. Two boys for you. What about two girls for me? I'm just a fella, the one track man. Whatever I want, baby, I seek and I shall find. Just my imagination running away with me now. It was just my imagination running away with me now. Run away now. Run away now. Run away now.
Yay! And now we're here with Michael Rank.
Man, it's happening.
I know, we're here. It's all great.
It's legit.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
So glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. This is very exciting.
I know. This is like Shane and I were joking. This is our way of ensuring people will come.
Know where you live?
What? I know. No, don't tell anybody. It's an undisclosed location. Yeah. No, we were joking, because of the kid thing, it's always like, man, there's just no adults, it's always about the chillins. We were joking. It was.
And I'm who you chose for the adult.
Yeah.
Okay, just to clarify.
Entertain us.
Right. Dun, 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 dun.
So, we actually, I guess we'll play it at the end of the podcast. song.
You're just,
we recorded the song.
You're just shattering the magic right now,
I
aren't
know,
you?
yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm a
Shannon
shatterer.
and I are
I'm a
looking at
shatterer.
you like, what?
I don't-
Shatterer?
This is, yeah.
So maybe you should have played Shattered.
Maybe.
Oh.
We'll never know. We'll never know. It's a 1-800 call. Should I get it?
Phone
Nah, I don't think so.
You never know. It might
You
be cool
never
as
know.
shit.
It could be.
Let's try it.
Let's
Hang
see.
on.
All right.
It's a podcast, right?
Yes, let's
Yeah,
do
go
it.
ahead. Go ahead.
I like it. Unexpected.
Hello.
Who is it?
I don't know. It's the reception's not happening. Man, it didn't happen. It was some like pre-recorded thing. But, like, that could have been it. That could have been the call I've been waiting. The pre-recorded call I've been waiting for my whole life.
So, Destiny is going to
jail.
call, but it's going to be pre-recorded.
No,
Kidding.
that's not the one I've
Just
been waiting
kidding.
for.
That's the one you've been waiting for. You sure you haven't been waiting for that?
Style.
We get that one already.
That's the-
When I was a DJ at in college,
Yeah.
at JMU, the only people that would call like late at night were the people at the local prison.
At least you knew someone was listening.
Yes,
Right?
they were like the. I think I
that.
got one other request from like friends who were partying at like 2 a.m.
It was literally a captive
or 3
audience.
a.m. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's
Thank
a
you.
good one.
Thank you.
Good one.
You guys work this out.
I need
like,
that-
You're going to
that's-
bed, right?
that
You lay in bed and
sampling
you're like,
board
Here's
where
what
it's
we're going
like-
to do tomorrow for Michael. This is a captive audience.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go further, what's the profanity guideline?
You
We
can
can
cuss.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I mean, not that like
Because there's no,
good. Just 'cause
yeah,
it's
we don't,
hard.
yeah, you can say
I'm
fuck.
like a descriptive cusser.
I
Like I'm like the
know.
adjective cusser. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like be, cussing
Right.
at you.
Right.
Right.
This
But it's
podcast
hard
is
for me-
over.
It's hard for me to.
It helps tell a story.
It's hard for me to keep it in check, so I feel a lot better now.
All right.
All right.
So what's been up anyway?
How's it going?
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, you
it's
just
kinda
released
shitty
that video though.
Yeah, third video.
Yes.
From my
Women
2007
in Love.
2017
Yeah.
triple album.
Yeah. That's good.
I don't do shows anymore. I just do videos.
I love it.
Right?
I really love what is it? The Be Alright video.
Oh, cool.
The one
that was the first one.
I liked
Yeah.
the
You're old school.
Yeah, I'm old
Yeah.
school. I like the lighting in
Completely.
it because it totally
Yeah.
reminded me of the 70s, and we were
That's
kind of
what's- there
talking
you
about
go.
that. And the roller skating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it took me back there.
That's
Yeah,
There you are.
that's good.
Well, cool.
It's good.
Well, I just really want to have all three videos really distinctly their own vibe,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
which I think I did.
yeah. They all have their own.
And everyone's
Sexy
got a, yeah, and
vibe.
everyone's
Sexy
got-
vibe.
It's
Yeah,
always
it's got a
sexy
favorite.
vibe.
Well, yeah, it's sexy music.
So what? Yeah. So the question, I guess, a lot of people were like, this direction. I don't know. I'm for the change and evolution. What do you want to call it?
yeah.
Just doing what
It's a
you're doing.
new vibe.
It's just
It's a new
it's just
vibe.
where I'm at.
Well, I mean, to me, it's like you go from, kind of the folky rock, like, kind of bad boy who's kind of, unrequited love, stalking, and just, well, they're sad songs. They are sad love
I'm a
songs.
sad fella.
And then
Shannon.
these are more like, hey, let's get it on type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some of the
Cool.
songs, I think one of them was kind of unrequited too. I can't remember, but yeah, it was like
Well, I'm
it's
still me.
Right.
Still
right.
you, yeah.
But
It's
I mean,
definitely
it's
still
just so. Do you have a new love? Because it's called a new love, right? Are you
you.
just
The
Your
album,
direction is a
Right.
new love.
album's Another Love.
another love? Right.
No.
No.
Do you like how I slid that in there?
Yeah, I did. I was talking with a friend of mine on the way over here, and I said, if Shannon goes there, this is what I'm going to say. But I won't say it.
Oh, that's for part 2. That's like for the return
That's for part
podcast.
2.
Right. So I don't even know how to respond to that. Well, okay, so that it does sort of remind me of like you always had that Stonesy vibe. Is this sort of like the emphasis on the soul and the
I guess I've always recorded albums. That was what I was wanting to hear at that point.
Oh, okay.
Like back, in the day, I was wanting to hear, Hanoi Rocks and Johnny Thunders.
Right.
So I recorded, Dead Man. I recorded
Right,
albums
yeah.
that sounded like that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right.
that's just what I'm into. And then, I wanted to hear a bunch of sad shit, sad folk shit. So I recorded 7 albums of sad folk shit.
You said to me, what did you say to me one time? I just like making downer records, man.
Well, dude, they make me happy. Sad songs kind of make me happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Nah, I get it.
Sad movies make me happy.
Me too.
It's kind of like you get it out. It's very therapeutic.
You get your cry on.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you go through it.
And, you know, this is just kind of what I've been feeling like listening to.
Okay.
And also, you know, I don't want to, you know, I don't say this to knock on anyone else. If they want to, you know, do the same thing for their entire life, more power to them. But
Yeah.
I don't want to do the same fucking thing for my
Right,
life. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
No,
like,
I
don't,
understand
you know,
that,
do
yeah.
some, you know, this is art, man.
That's what I love
It's
about
like, I'm
it.
not going to do the same damn
Yeah.
stick figure drawing for fucking 50 years. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to
Yeah.
put a little hat on my stick figure. You know what I mean? Put some platform shoes on.
All right,
the
there
stick
you go,
figure.
there you
You
go.
got to change it up.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess there's always, I mean, it
And I
seems,
put out like 3 albums a year. So, you
Right.
know, we can't be, you know.
yeah, I always, you know, there always seems to be sort of like those two paths of like, you know, you take, you know, whatever your genre is and you just, I guess you spend a lot of time refining it and tinkering with it. And then there are like people like, I guess, David Bowie and folks like that are like, you know, this is kind of what I'm into now. And if you're into that, that's great. You have these records. I'm moving on.
Exactly. I gave
Yeah.
you 7 of this. If you don't dig it, well, here, you got
Right.
Here's Merry Christmas.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Now you say you're not playing out anymore. I mean, is that like just like you just don't feel the
Well,
love quite the way you used to about playing
you know,
out?
it's. I get really nervous, for starters.
Okay.
So like, you know, I would throw up for every show for I don't know the first 20 years in Snatches of
Really?
Pink. It didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't matter
That's
if we
so
were just.
surprising.
Didn't matter if we just played for the bartender or we played for 3,000-4,000 people. I was gonna puke.
I never would have
Ugh.
guessed
And I
that.
just get so like I'll start worrying about it weeks ahead. You know what I mean? Like back when we used to tour, it was easier because you kind of get in this routine.
This is happening. Yeah.
So that's not like I really like I like writing. I like creating shit. I like
Yeah.
writing songs and I like making albums. I like things
Yeah.
you can hold in your hand and look at.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, I
that's-
get that. Yeah.
That's what I'm into. Shows, you know, it's such a crapshoot. And you know, my memory, I got such a bad memory, so I'm already forgetting it before it's even over. And, you know what I mean?
I do.
So it's like, I kind of wanted to do a handful of shows for this album, just cool shows.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm really tired of not cool shows. But then it became really clear to put together the band and to get, you know, when you get
Yeah.
older, man, it's harder to get everyone to
Yeah.
fucking do a gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it became clear, man, this is going to be a pain in the ass. And
Yeah.
so I said, screw it, I'll just write another album. So I've already got another album written. I've got all my
nice.
shit's recorded for it. I was hoping to have it out by the end of the year, but it's not going to be the end of the year. But
So it's gonna be early next year, I guess.
yeah,
So
I
is it
just,
similar to this vibe?
oh,
like,
it's
is
cool.
It,
Well,
is
this album,
funky
Another Love is, you know, it's a
and-
triple album.
Yeah.
So by nature, it's kind of schizophrenic
Mm-hmm.
because you know it'd be pretty boring if it wasn't.
Right.
But I'm excited about this new album because it's just determined for it to be a single album, just 12 songs. Like I'm sitting on my hands. I'm not gonna write anything else. And it's got this real consistent sort of late night disco vibe, kind of this late night soul disco vibe. You know, like sort
Nice.
of mid later
Nice.
period Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
What Sylvester?
Dig it.
Yeah, totally. So I'm really excited about it. It's good. It's
I'm
good.
excited about
Yeah.
it. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I've always
I like
struck.
the video, like visual component too.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Well, that was the other thing. Like, I got, you know, I was waiting for people to record for this next one. I was like, fuck, I'll just do another video. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
I'm
you-
just keeping myself busy, Phil.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So I always, you know, you've always been. It seems to be kind of artistically antsy. You know, like if you know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like breathing for you. You've got to do it, and if you don't, it's sort of you get all anxious. I mean, I get I understand the deal with the performance versus composition because. You know, it's always like when you have a band, you're like, you get that moment where you write your song, and that's like to me, a lot of times that's the best moment. You know, you write the song and it comes out, and you're like, this is great, and then the rest of it becomes somewhat repetitious because you got to teach the song to people, and then you got to play the song to everybody,
teach it to
and then you got
me.
to play it again and again and again and again, and you get kind of caught up in that.
I mean, I like the concept of playing live. Like, I'm the guy who accepts all the shows and then goes, why the fuck did I do that? You know, if the show comes clear, why did I say yes to this thing? So I gig a lot just in my mind.
Right. Okay. It's the
fact, hang
mind
on,
is
hang
the
on.
club,
I'm
right?
I'm gigging right now. Wait a minute.
Hold on, encore. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay.
Wait, I got to tune up. Hang on. Okay.
What? What?
You have a
We're
question?
just.
Oh, do I have a question?
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in New York City.
New York City.
Yep.
Like proper.
Yep.
How long were you there?
Well, I lived in Manhattan, until like I kind of started grade school, and then we moved to a town called Katona, which is still New York State, but out of the city. And I did all through 6th grade there. And then we moved here when I started junior high, and
Wow.
trauma began.
Yeah, I understand.
So I've been here a while, though.
Yeah, totally.
I know you and Mouse were in high school together, weren't
We
you?
were in junior high.
Junior high. Okay. When was he the
COVID.
trauma?
No. I've got much love for that family.
Just joking.
So what's your favorite memory, like fall-ish memory growing up in New York?
Oh,
I
shit.
bet it was,
I can barely
autumn
remember last
August.
year. But I don't know.
because your mom's still around, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's call her and ask her.
Let's go.
All right.
Mom,
We should.
you're on
What was
there.
my favorite
What
memory?
was my favorite in the fall memory?
I was gonna go for something kind of cliche, like the fall colors in Central Park, kind of thing.
Well, no, I mean, it's all cool. It's not so much a memory, but, that's my thing. It was the 70s, is when
Yeah.
that's going on. So, I'm sure I was wearing a cool cap, and, I probably had some, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just, we were riding our bikes, and,
The vibe.
the vibe. was
You're a
the
vibe
I'm
guy. You're not a memory
I'm
guy.
not a
You're a
memory-
vibe.
Exactly.
Well,
Thank you for
I would
that.
imagine that it would be so different up there than it would be here, and to like go from that big transition. What
Well,
brought your family
Just
down here?
parents, right?
Right.
Isn't that what makes all kids move?
Yeah, I mean, was it? I guess it was a job or something, or just wanting to
No,
a different change of pace,
Yeah,
or
I think
other
different change of
roots?
pace. My dad was a lawyer in the city, and I
That's
think
like
they
my
were
dad.
done with that, done with all that. But junior high is such a traumatic. I guess it's middle school now. I
Yes.
assume it's still traumatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
But junior high is such a traumatic thing anyway. Let alone moving from New York to North Carolina.
Yeah,
Like what? The,
yeah. Oh yeah,
It's like
I had
Where are the
I had lots
buildings?
of trauma
Yeah.
in middle school.
it's a rough
And I
time.
moved from the city in Danville to the county in Danville. So that was like hugely traumatic. I mean, Danville's so small, but going from like a bigger place to a really small place, and people just were different. Like their thinking,
Damn
their
people.
acceptance,
I hate that about people. That are
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well, I mean,
teasing.
different in a
I know what you
bad
mean.
way.
Yeah,
Like
no,
not
just,
an accepting, love, inclusive type way.
I had the reverse experience.
I was not feeling much love at junior high.
Yeah.
I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah. Do people do? I mean, do people feel love at junior high?
I don't know. I would imagine if you were like on, the king of the basketball middle school
Yeah,
team or
yeah.
something, you totally would. Or the
Football.
yeah.
Okay.
I was
But
the, I was the
everybody
king
else
of the
probably-
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah.
So my love was like, barbarian woman.
Right.
love.
Right.
I think you played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
too,
Yeah. I'm
I'm
a little.
sorcerer love.
I was the teeny bit. I'm a
That's
teeny
my
bit.
next album title, by the way.
Sorcerer
Totally
Love.
should be.
Sorcerer Love.
Yes. A lot.
Mine was the whole deal where you played Dungeons and Dragons, and you had those two Ozzy Osbourne records, Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz, and those things got played continuously while we rolled the dice.
Yeah, see, I was older school. Mine was more like, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
There you go.
or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
Any Rush? That always seems to be some good D&D.
Some By-Tour and the Snow Dog.
Okay. I always see some good
I'll
D&D
go there
music.
with you, man. Come on.
Fly by night. You can't get as high at Pure as Geddy Lee, man.
It's early in the morning.
It's early. Early is that. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think anybody can get as high as Getty.
No, someone once called him Daffy Duck on crystal meth, and I thought that's an interesting visual image. So, did you always did you get the bug to play music relatively early, or it was just sort of something you kind of felt,
Yeah, no. There was it starts with, the instruments that school or your parents make you play, which is like, okay, well that will never be the instrument then you play that you like. That's sort of the kiss of death.
Yeah.
What was the instrument?
Well, I did like saxophone, but that case in school, you open
Yeah.
it smells. It's got that smell, man. All those horn school instruments, when you open the case, all that smell.
Yeah. Smells like a locker.
It just, that's just kind of that, they all had that purple fabric that, just kind of hadn't been aired out or something. I did some of that, and, I did piano, which I guess,
That seems to have stuck a little.
Yeah, but like I didn't know anything. But drums was the first one. I was like, I want to play drums.
Oh, okay.
That's when that was my first like real instrument was drums.
You making your boy
No.
do any music?
No, I hope he never does.
Jack came home one day and was
No,
like,
I don't push any of that mess.
we don't push it either. And we're like, he came home
up
one
like
day
me.
and he was like, Mommy, can I take piano lessons? And
No.
I'm like, yeah, sure. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
Where
no,
did
he doesn't
this
have
come
any interest in any of
from?
that. I mean, I think when you got, he's got here all the time. You gonna be a musician like your dad? I mean, how annoying that must be.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, well, I did until you said that.
Right.
Strange man in
Yeah.
the supermarket.
Oh my God.
Thanks for ruining it for me.
That's terrifying.
Strange man at Weaver
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah, no, my family were music appreciators. They were not music performers, so that was an easy way
Yeah,
to
no.
separate myself from the pack, I
For
guess.
me, it was all about Kiss. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw that first Kiss album cover, and it was just on, man.
You didn't, but yet you've never. Did you ever wear the Kiss thing where you had the the cold
was your
cream
favorite?
and the.
For Halloween,
Okay,
yeah, man,
yeah.
I had my room and bedroom in New York was walls, ceilings. No, it was all Kiss.
Did you see I
My
won
favorite rotated.
Cutest Pumpkin
For being, who was it?
in the neighborhood?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I didn't get the
It was
newsletter.
Paul Stan. I did a
A Paul Stanley pumpkin. Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know.
Did you get to? Since you're up in New York, did you get to see them?
Well, I saw them the very first time, in their New York band. They played Madison Square Garden,
Uh-huh.
Destroyer Tour.
Uh-huh.
My dad's law partner and his wife took me.
Wow.
Because no one else would. Oh, yeah, man. And I think we were in the farthest back row of Madison Square Garden. And it was awesome. No, that was a huge thing for me.
I'll bet, yeah.
But yeah, no, Paul was probably my favorite. But when I got a little older, I realized it was all about Ace.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
You never dug Gene.
It's hard to dig Gene.
It's
I
hard
think,
to dig Gene. He makes it really hard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do like calling Dr. Love, but he always just sort of he was like that guy in the band. He probably got a lot of stuff done, but in the process,
And then
you
the
just
more
didn't
you
like
know
him.
about him,
just
the more harder it gets.
Yeah.
Whereas
I
with
was like a
Ace, you're
Paul
just
and
like
Ace
poor
guy.
Ace,
Yeah.
poor
Yeah.
Ace. I think Reese likes Ace Frehley a lot too. I think I've had this discussion about who's your favorite Kiss person.
Yeah.
But it's so funny that people are like, "Oh man, Kiss! Oh God, they just stole everything from the Dolls." It's like, well, yeah, they did, but that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Well, that they didn't, and I'm like
Right.
the biggest Dolls fan. I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Dolls fan. But nah, they were doing their own shit.
Yeah.
They're the gateway.
Yeah.
Gateway into the bigger world. And I think it's important to remember there are a lot of great gateway bands that maybe they sucked, maybe they didn't, but when you're 14 or whatever and those guys show up, or that band shows
I want
up,
to be a gateway.
you want to be a gateway band.
I just want to be a gateway.
So people be like, man, everything was great till I heard that Michael Rank record. Or everything was awful till I heard that
I
Michael
always
Rank.
wanted to be a gateway.
To what?
Well, don't box
Yeah.
me in.
Okay, I'm trying to box you in.
Whatever.
Whatever. Come along on the Michael Rank
Yeah.
experience.
Just a gateway.
So, are you,
No.
right.
I'm sorry.
That's great. You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say, since you sort of, I don't know, was it, I know like when you were doing the, the folk country-ish stuff, you listened to just a ton of that. I mean, that was when you had your radio show, and that would be all that it played. Did like there was like this moment where you're just like, you know what? I think I'm kind of done, ready to just listen to some, different records or
For this new shit?
just in general,
anything.
just sort of your life path.
Well, there's always like a consistent thing. Like I always love Cat Stevens.
Uh-huh.
Like always. you know, and that didn't really pop up till some of these folk rounds, you know, and I've always loved Sly Stone.
Right.
But, you know, that didn't pop up till, you know, more recently. So there's kind of like those steadies that have always been there. But yeah, you know, I definitely, the radio show was, the cool thing about the radio show I do occasionally is it like forced me to, she want to play the same shit all the time.
Right, yeah.
It just forced you to go digging,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like your show. I mean,
I do
because it's,
too.
you know, like the Solange and just the deeper cuts of stuff that, like you're saying, I mean, you're kind of aware of it. Oh, yeah, this is going on. But yeah, you always have your go-to.
Yeah.
And then if you have, how many hours do you have? Is it 1 or 2? Or
No, I do one. It just feels like two.
like, I've got, you know, however many minutes, PSAs aside or whatever, and I got to figure that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I've minimalized stuff. Well, I got my, you know, a local club here, Cat's Cradle. What's the word? Underwrites the show.
Oh, nice.
So they get their shout out. But no, man, I've streamlined it
Right.
now. Like, I don't even stop the music. Like, when it's time to talk, I just, like, lower the volume. I just talk with the music. So I'm really, like, refining my shit.
Right.
It's like there's too much, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like the Michael Rank mixtape more than anything. You try to keep it like on that level.
Yeah, man, the more I'm talking, the less time there is for someone to hear some music.
I
Right.
like how you play songs from artists that I know, but it's like, oh, that sounds really cool. I've never heard that song before.
I'm a deep cut kind of
yeah,
guy.
yeah. So I like that.
Is that like your, I mean,
Deep Cut Gateway.
the deep cut gateway? There you go. Let me expand your mind. We were watching, well, we're sort of watching The Fog, the original Fog. And it was
Alright.
always that Adrian Barbeau's, this is Stevie Wayne, getting you through the night. Is that kind of, it's Michael Rank.
Well, it's more
waking
fun
up.
too when you're talking with some music playing low, because then you're like hitting it in between the beat. You know, it makes it more. The first time I did, I was like, "This is so much more fun. Why haven't I been doing this the whole damn time?"
Yeah. So
You need to start doing that.
It's fun. Oh, do it. It's so much more fun. Like, you'll be amazed how much more fun. it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's our next challenge for the podcast is the musical
yeah.
bed.
Produce it more. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so,
we
yeah,
get
we do that.
savvy with the music.
Savage. Yeah, they call it the musical bed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, let me write that down.
right. No, but I agree.
That's
You know,
another
it's
album title.
musical bed.
Well, no, it's better when you said it the way you said it.
Musical bed.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta enhance the bass. You know. Yeah, the talking with that lower volume mellow music really does. It seems to provide a clarity of
It's
conversation.
the WKRP thing to do, man. It's what
That's
Venus
right,
Flytrap
yeah.
would want us to do.
Venus flytrap. And now, so you're not playing guitar at all anymore, or you just kind
Dude,
of?
I haven't played a guitar in years now. It's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah. Did you just get sick of it?
Yeah.
Was it like the? It seems like if you're not careful, people have this like, it's Michael Rank. It's the Michael Rank thing. Michael Rank's going to be up there with the guitar, and you sort of went from the electric to the acoustic. I remember, and you're like, I'm not playing the electric
Oh, dude, I
anymore.
haven't played electric for a long time.
So the same vibe when
Well,
you.
it's been cool doing this because you know, other than 3 piano lessons when I was 8 or 7 or 6, like I don't know how to play. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
this wonderful liberation and ignorance of a musical instrument.
Oh yeah, no.
Like I don't know the notes. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? So I found it was just like this. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Sort of like rediscovering what you actually liked about music in the first place.
Well, yeah, when you don't know anything, it's kind of like you can do whatever the hell you want. It's when you start knowing shit, you start getting.
Yeah, I remember, trying to learn guitar, and all those like people like seemed like, wow, these guys are geniuses. And then like I started figuring some stuff out, and I was like, that's it.
Well, and that's why we love. That's why we love bands like the Dolls. I mean, and all those kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's
It's the fresh.
It's instinct. It's just attitude. It's just it's not.
What?
It's not.
I just wanted to know if you had a
I
question.
know. I'm
you
just.
guys-
I'm
why you guys
listening.
whisper
I'm
amongst
trying
each
to.
other?
I'm,
So
I'm just.
the
I
thing that
guess
we're-
I'm not participating.
Our
in the
podcast journey,
conversation.
kind of the same deal. That like I.
Just to whisper.
No.
I'm just teasing. No, just to make sure everyone's involved.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Our podcast journey, we're like learning more stuff about each other and how we talk and conversating and stuff, and how to trade off questions and things.
Right.
So, because we don't want anybody to be shut out.
I didn't prepare a lot of questions
I
though
didn't
for you
either.
because I was just gonna let it be fluid because I knew that it
I'll
would
teach
just
you.
be. I know, really.
Won't do that again.
Like, yeah. Like, so, what are you listening to right now? What artists?
You know, there's this new. I'm kind of to be totally honest with you. I'm kind of like for the first time, like just not really listening to music. I'm kind of like. I don't know. I'm kind of just like. I'm just kind of not.
Yeah. What are you doing? I know you are you
just
gardening
kinda like
still?
Spending a lot of time in my head being weird and sad
Yeah.
and alone. You know, the usual.
Keeping it the usual.
Yeah, this year's just been funky. They're all kind of funky.
Well, I know, like you started taking. What you say? You started taking up running again, or did you ever run?
You know.
Okay, so you started running.
Yeah, you know, doing some of that mess. Just kind of, I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's just weird.
How's it weird?
It's weird because, you know, you start getting old. It's just, I think I've just been going through a spot where I'm reflecting back on all the different things I could have passed. You could have done differently. It's like, I could have done a whole different thing. And some of those things, you know, yeah, you could probably check out now. But some you can't. You know what I mean? You kind of hit this point where you're just like, wow, I could have done something else, or I don't know.
That option is gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, some of those options are gone. And
Yeah. So was it? Do you think it was? I mean, I always wonder if it's like when people talk about I've reached this point in my life, if it's like the age or just the experience, or like the age is just reflective of most people having reached a certain level of experience, and then they look back on that and they go, it all seems a little clearer or not, and this is what I would have done differently. Was it turning?
It all just seems a little sad.
Oh, does it?
Well, there's like a stigma, like you get older and you're not supposed to do new things. You know, you're not supposed to have your hair dark. You're not supposed to wear white. You know, I mean, you're just
fuck all that. I mean, but there's some things that's like career-wise or stuff. It's too, you know. I'm alright with changing your hair color.
It's never too late.
Well, no, it is. I think it is to do some career shit. It's definitely too
I guess if you were, at the age we're at, going to medical school might be a problem. That would be a
wasn't
problem.
one of the things.
What was one of the things? Can you tell us one of the things?
No.
No. Okay. Moving along.
I wish y'all could see Shannon's face now. She just gave a good face.
Emma?
When I said no, it's just like, I know, it's a little let down.
Michael. It's
Anyway.
She gives me that face too.
I get face all the time.
Tisk,
Yeah, it's
tisk,
weird,
tisk.
man. And single parenting's weird. It's
Yeah.
all weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not experienced that, and I hope I never do. So.
You guys got each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
But then sometimes we're part of the problem.
Probably.
Yeah, but see,
In
but
terms
there's
of
no- but
decision
see-
making, it's
yeah,
like
but
harder to
that's-
negotiate
Yeah,
sometimes.
but that's part of the thing. At least you're doing it together.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I never had a problem with difficult times in relationships or
Yeah.
fights or whatnot. It's just part of the thing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up where you argue at the dinner table. You know what I mean? It's not a thing. It's not a big deal.
my son and I argued at dinner.
And you make up quickly. Like we make up quickly
Yeah.
and all that. But when Phil and I fight, like he grew up in a household where they go behind closed doors to fight. Like don't do it in public kind of thing. So it's like when we would get into it, I'm like, it's natural, it's like
Natural for you.
and he's like but he was just kind of he was not into the fighting.
I'm not. No. I think it's also just
just
that
a thing.
we're not demonstrative like that way. That was like kind of we hurt each other on a quieter level. So So I think it's just a difference. But I definitely some people have that reaction of like the minute something is like provokes them, it's like they either kind of go for it or they're like they hang back. And I'm kind of a hang back kind of guy. Like I'm not sure if I'm willing to commit to this with this certain level of fierceness or whatever. I don't.
I just
find
want to
myself being able
resolve.
come
Like
to it.
let's resolve the shit.
Yeah.
Guy. Like I want to talk it. I want to let's
Yeah.
let's talk it out so we
Yeah.
can get like I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't want to like.
I'm not.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be everyone sitting in silence for fucking a week.
That's terrible. I agree. You know, I don't like that either. Whether that deal where you're like, is everything cool?
Yeah.
Everything cool? And then they say something like,
Doesn't feel cool.
of course it's cool. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Are you just saying that? You know, my
They
mom was
are.
that. She
They
would be
are.
that person where she was like,
I'm
very
so disappointed.
I'm
in
really
you.
disappointed in what you did, and I'm really very angry.
Oh, that
I-
sounds like you.
I think you should go to your room for a little bit because I don't know what I'm going to say. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and
Does that
that,
sound familiar, Shannon? See how that works?
yeah, I just, you know, that was just so, you know, devastating as opposed to sort of the, then about 30 minutes later, oh, you want to go bowling? You know, so, you know.
I can relate to that but more.
Yeah, no, definitely. So. Well, so you're grooving in the country, right? Are you doing the organic gardening tip?
I'm doing it, man, but I've gotten kind of lax in it. It's
yeah.
kinda, you know, it's just I'm just kind of down, Phil. I'm just not out there as much.
What got you into it in the first place? And the goats.
Oh
those
yeah, how are
damn
your goats?
They're fucking out of control.
Did we need to
They're monsters.
yeah,
Man.
they
They're
eat
like-
everything,
Well, they're
right?
huge. No, they don't eat everything. That's a myth. Goats are.
So no
they're
rent-a-goat business for Michael Rank?
Well, no, man, they're selective, or maybe I just spoil my shit and they become selective. But
Probably.
yeah, no, I've got these two they're brothers. It's like I'm the dude who gets the animal that can't provide anything.
It just takes.
It just takes. So, you know, I've got these two boy goats, and I got my 10-year-old son, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of dudes
Living out in Chatham.
living out in the male-populated wilderness.
We even have 2 male cats. Like there's no.
Yeah, Shannon is
Yeah, you're
underrepresented
outnumbered,
here.
aren't
I know,
you?
totally outnumbered. I have like a closet that has all my shit. It's like my girl room.
All right, the salon.
I've got a girl room, too. It's maybe different than yours. I don't know.
It probably is.
When we first started looking at this house, and I said,
Have I said too much?
this house looks like, I said, this looks like this could be in a little office or something. And both Shannon and the realtor were like, no.
This is Shannon's room.
Yeah, so
Shannon needs her room.
Yeah.
I got a couch in there.
it's to make it all go away.
Yeah.
So, well, so what else you doing besides
That's
know?
it. That's it, man.
What about your car?
My car?
Yeah, you got that muscle car, right?
Well,
Which
I had
one
a-
you got? I thought you were
shit
racing
ton of
it.
them. No, I stopped racing. Yeah, I used to drag race.
That was
Trying
fun.
to sell the 74 Challenger. Still got the Grand National.
Wow.
Still got an old Mustang out there.
Are you keeping some stuff for like Bowie? Like he might get into this later. I'm gonna hold on to this. That's the way I feel about my
Well,
guitars
his mom
now.
didn't want him anywhere near the Challenger. The Challenger was like a beast.
Oh, okay.
So we're selling the Challenger.
Yeah.
And the Grand National is such an awesome car. It's like I don't want him anywhere near that thing. Like, that's gonna be my like. you know,
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gonna evolve to the where you sort of flip over and back into wanting to do that kind of
I
stuff?
think I'm gonna save him. I've got a '78 Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
That more than likely he was conceived in.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just saving that one for
Oh,
him.
that's
so when
beautiful.
like I hit him, like I say, oh, you want this car?
Beautiful.
Okay, here it's yours. You know, get them. I'm gonna hit him with the whole visual
Right.
of it all, and I'll just watch him just like
Right.
turn.
So he can't do anything
thanks.
like that
Yeah,
in
just
it.
like, so I'm gonna
Because
ruin,
that
I'm
would
waiting
be
to ruin
gross.
that for him.
Yeah.
Well, it's important that you know
Yeah.
you take the time to ruin things.
Oh yeah.
What
yeah.
color is it?
Well, it's all I had 7 cars
All
at one
black.
point. They were all black.
Oh, black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, you know.
But the Mustang's cool because it was originally orange.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's the '70s.
Right.
And someone had, painted it black, but like kept if you open the door, like the side panels, like you still got orange
Yeah.
highlights
Oh,
going on
that's
in
cool.
there. Oh, it's way
It's
cool.
like a Halloween
It's got a
car.
track player in it.
Oh,
Nice.
what 8 tracks you have for
Well,
it?
Emotional Rescue's in it right
Oh,
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Are you like? Did you like that record when it first came out? Because it seemed like everybody took a giant dump on it.
I'm the dude who loves the albums that people take the giant dumps on.
Yeah.
Like I dug Draw the Line, like Aerosmith's Draw the Line.
Like,
Like
this is
I dug,
awful. I'm gonna get that.
oh, I love that. Those are my favorite albums, man, because that's when shit starts. Like bands start, the drugs become a problem,
Right.
out of help, or they're starting breaking up. That's when. Oh, those are my favorite albums.
So you're like looking for like the nervous breakdown record.
I like
basically,
that.
you know?
I like the albums. Yeah, that
Like,
originally.
they
were
lost the
Drums of
plot.
Pink.
Oh, I'm gonna get that one.
And time usually shows that they were pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Dude, if the Stones put out Emotional Rescue now, we'd all be like,
Oh, they're back.
we'd
Totally.
be like
Yeah.
fucking, it'd be party.
I thought, I didn't think it was bad, from my mind, and I was like maybe 11. I didn't think it was bad, but I wasn't exactly like, well, they've really strayed from their roots.
No,
or
I love
whatever.
it. It's great.
The thing that's always, I do agree with that. The thing is always what seems to get bands in trouble is when they deviate from like whatever the sound that kind of brought them to the party is, and you can sort of hear where they're like,
You see, that's why I can deviate so freely,
Yeah.
because I never had the party.
you had the sound, you didn't have the party, so
Yep.
now you're just like, maybe if I try a different sound, I'll have the party then, right?
I think it's too late.
You're not even interested in the party. You're just
No party for me.
So, all right. So, were you ever a party
Depends your definition of party.
what would you call your definition of party?
Well, I was a very private party fella.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like I was.
How many people were invited to the
I
party?
wasn't a social
Okay,
partier.
yeah.
Like
So
I
you
did
were like
my
a-
party. I did my party before going to the party. Like I was that guy. It's
So you're
like,
the party of one.
my party was the prep before
Right,
the
okay.
party.
Okay.
My party was to get me through the party.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're like, and I've noticed this about you. You're like, show up, do the show, see ya.
I was a big bathroom partier guy.
Oh, okay.
Like I'd spent a lot of times in bathrooms at parties. Just
So,
saying.
so now I guess with you're doing the keyboard stuff and and you've got your home studio, that's where the party is, huh? Pretty much. Even if there's
Yeah.
a party.
How do you get
No
yourself to leave the house?
I don't.
I know.
It was
I
hard
wouldn't-
coming here.
I wouldn't leave. You've got a garden. You've got goats. You've got these amazing cars. You also collect art, right?
I used to.
Used
Feels
to?
like lifetimes ago, but it's still all over the
So
place.
this is like, are this like a Michael Rank transition moment? Are you gonna get like into death metal now or something like that?
No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't really know where I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been listening to some of my early Cars albums, which I
okay.
haven't listened to in a while. Those are cool. I wish I could. I know this is gonna bother all the purists out there. I wish I could remove the guitars from those albums.
No, I get you.
I'd forgotten like how kind of Chuck Berry, T-Rex, those guitar riffs on those car
Yeah.
songs are. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
have really a memory. And those keyboard hooks are so great. And
Yeah.
there's all that, you know what I mean? I wish I could just...
We were listening to one day, and I swear I was like, "Is this a Suicide song?"
Yeah.
I kept
was
thinking.
like, what are you talking about? It's a car.
But those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Those first
Yeah.
couple albums are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just
no.
wish I could remove like the rock element.
Yeah.
So are you like kind of done with rock? Is that, at least for now, you're like, eh,
I think rock's done with me, Phil.
I'm not done with you.
I
Have you
don't
sold
think
all
it
your
is.
guitars and given away all your stuff, and you're just like, I renounced the rock.
I don't know, just kind of,
I kind of did that for a while, where I was like, I'm done, and then later I was like, I should have kept some of that crap.
Yeah.
No, you still have your Les Paul Junior.
Yeah.
so
No, I don't know.
you don't know. It's just
You-
sitting on the shelf.
You and Phil are so similar though,
What?
because Phil will be like, oh, I need to play, and then he's like, oh, I hate playing, and it's like,
I'm not saying that.
I do.
oh, but he says that, but you're kind of saying some of the same thing.
I'm just
as
saying I'm
like,
sad.
well, I mean, I think that was what he was getting at too. Like he was sad he didn't want to play. Like it reminds him of like a period where his
Yeah.
friend isn't here, and
I think it's that, and sometimes you go through an experience and you kind of come out on the other side, and you're like, the stuff that mattered to you doesn't matter in quite the same way. And if you're trying to pursue like that feeling again, I don't know. There's something sad about that, where you're like, instead of moving forward and onward, you're kind of like held captivated by this moment in time, and you're like, Well, and so like at least for me with like the live playing is kind of the repetitive nature of it, and the kind of like Michael's saying about trying to get everybody together for the gig, and everybody else is playing in 6 different bands, and you're like doing your thing, and it's the only
when you
thing,
start out, that's just everyone. That's everyone's wanting to do that.
yeah.
And then it becomes womp womp.
I can't believe you're sad because your music doesn't sound like you're sad.
I must
And you
give it
still
all- I
smile
must
through
give-
the sadness.
Well, like I said, sad songs make me happy.
Yeah.
I see. So the next record you said is going to be
Dude,
Super Disco.
Can I? Yeah,
Okay.
total. But late night disco.
Late night disco.
Hey, can I change the subject for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I went to the movies yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, day before yesterday, something opened. I was gonna go to Charlotte, and that fell through. I never go to movies anymore.
Right, yeah.
Man, so I saw the new Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
Which I have a hard time sitting still for 45 minutes, so I was really nervous.
It's like 3 hours, right?
God, I love
Was it good?
Was it good?
Oh man.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely
hard
loved
for
it.
us to get to the movies. We
The-
have to
at
get a
least the adult
babysitter,
people
you
loves it,
know.
yeah.
From
Oh,
the
that's
first
awesome.
second, the first shot is of these like white eyelashes, and I was like,
Ooh.
oh man,
You're sold.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
What was the
Into it.
soundtrack like?
Soundtrack was fucking amazing.
Okay.
Or I don't know if it was soundtrack, but the audio was amazing. There was some really
Yeah.
heavy, hard, disturbing sounds
Yeah.
that were so perfect. And I fucking loved it. But I have a Ryan Gosling thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you?
Oh, I love Ryan fucking
Yes.
Gosling. If
Oh,
anyone who
get it.
doesn't
What's
love Ryan,
that movie
anyone
where
who doesn't
he's
love
like
Ryan
a
Gosling
fighter?
doesn't understand
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
I don't
Ryan
understand
Gosling-
Ryan Gosling. Though.
Ryan Gosling he's not taking all this people. I think people think that he's like taking himself very seriously.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
Like the people who think that are taking themselves seriously.
yeah.
So for me,
definitely
I
do
was
that.
like hanging with my friend for 3 hours.
Ah, okay.
Right.
It's just, you know what I mean?
Well, what was that movie he did where he was like a fighter and it was like in Hong Kong or something?
The guy.
That was a weird movie.
That was but it was cool.
Yeah, that was a
It-
weird fucking
I
movie.
liked it though. It was
Yeah.
really dark and just a different role
Yeah,
for
that
him.
was a
And it was
weird
like,
movie.
ooh, he can pull this shit off,
Yeah.
you know?
No, Blade Runner was so
Oh, I can't
good.
wait
The
to see
visuals
it.
were fucking so good.
It's funny that guy.
I was so happy. It's the happiest I've been in a movie. I
When
probably
was-
applauded when it was over.
What was the last movie you saw prior?
I don't.
Do you watch
even
movies at home?
remember- Yeah.
What's that one with what's her name? Shoot. Okay, Neon something about the model.
Oh yeah. I wanted to see that.
That-
The models.
That is really good.
And it's not on my shit. Nothing's on Netflix. I don't know.
It's
You're
on, I think
stuck-
it's on Amazon. It
You're
was
stuck
on
in the war.
Amazon.
Yeah, there's like a
Fucking
war.
Netflix. I mean, if
think.
I want to watch,
What is
121 episodes of Gossip Girl, which I am doing, by the
Yeah.
way, right
Well,
now.
of course,
Then
you know.
Netflix is fucking great. But if you want to see a movie, like just last night, I looked for Kids. That's not on Netflix. I looked for, The Last Days of Disco. That's not on Netflix. I looked
Neon
for-
Demon.
Neon Demon. I
That's
wanted to
it.
see it in the theater, and I didn't
So
see it.
that is so good. I think you totally dig it.
I know,
And
but
if
it's not
I
on any
remember,
of my
like
shit.
the music was, it like synth is
What did
like
you watch
coming
it
back.
on?
Yeah.
How'd
Well,
you
this-
see
Oh,
it?
I think it was Amazon. Like we
Well, I don't want
we
to watch
rented
something
it.
on my laptop.
That's a pain. So I will admit that
wanna see it on
the
the
big
TV.
the big screen
we have
experience
it
is something.
on our TV through
Yeah,
Roku.
I don't have that technology.
Well, you should. You've got time at home now.
Yeah, but your
Yeah, that's
laptop,
okay.
you can
Yeah,
just
I wanted
sit
to
with
see
you.
that.
But it's good. It's really
see
good.
Yeah, but the laptop thing, I agree. If you're dealing with
I saw
something
this
visual.
movie White Girl. I think that was the name of it.
I haven't seen that.
I checked that. Well, I don't know if you should check that out actually.
Oh, okay.
No,
Now we should check it out, just because he
Just 'cause I
says,
said that.
like, "Oh my God,
Yeah, no, that was cool.
does he think we can't handle this
Oh,
stuff?"
The
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
Batch. That's on Netflix.
that?
Oh, it's interesting. Like the visuals are really cool. I think it was filmed in like Slab City. That city that has like in the desert that it has its own rules and it's all like arty and stuff. And it's very like dystopian future where everything there's cannibals and people kind of enslaving. It's really interesting.
It was okay. I
Yeah,
thought.
it's a little gory.
I found like I'd seen Mad Max
was
and
a
Road
little- it's a
Warrior,
little
and
Mad
that was kind of
Maxy.
like,
Yeah.
that's it.
I don't
That's
know.
really all you need to see for
I
that.
dug it though. I mean, there's quite a.
Now I gotta find
difference from
the
that.
movie because there's the composer for the Ryan Gosling movie I think it's like God something.
Which one? The Japanese? The
Where he's in Hong Kong. Was that?
And that's not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Well, he was in The Notebook, so.
Oh yeah, I think that's the one that gets him this rap of he's not a
and
serious
that's
or
not.
whatever.
Nah, man.
I don't think it's that. I just,
Dude.
I'm not feeling the Gosling, I guess. I mean, I don't.
When I talk to him later, Shannon, I'll let you know you're behind him and Phil. I'm afraid
I get like a
report on you.
Phil.
But no, Blade
I like
Runner was awesome.
all the memes. Hey girl.
Well, my son's mom one year for I don't know if it was Christmas or birthday. She actually made me See, I'm secure enough in my shit where I can discuss this. She made me a Ryan Gosling birthday card, where he was saying, "Hey,
That's
Only
awesome.
God forgives."
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
one.
that was it."
So yeah, I kind of like the vibe out of that one. The thing that I remember was that the guy who did the soundtrack for it is this guy named Cliff Martinez, who I really like his composition. He did like Solaris and Narc, all the music behind that, where it's all that weird kind of synthy, textury stuff. He was also in the Red Hot Chili Peppers for about 10 seconds, I think. Yeah.
All right.
So, but he got into the soundtrack stuff, and I was like, this stuff is cool. So that artificial texture, that kind of.
Well, check out Blade Runner.
I want to. It's just a matter of
See,
the
I like
children and the.
uber pretentious, over the top art shit.
There's no. Yeah, I like some of that. I mean, that's always the problem.
I like
I think.
very indulgent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
The pretentiousness of it.
I like
it's
movies
sort
where
of-
people are either gonna hate it or love it.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, all right.
So that's always interesting because it seems like people get really freaked out by something that's so. I'm not even sure it's over the top. It's just sort of a separate reality that people it's not authentic. It's totally artificial, and it's like, well.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I got authentic.
Well, yeah.
We got that every day.
Yeah. Exactly.
not why
It's
I'm going to that.
escapism.
Plus, the way
that's not
people
right.
define an authentic experience, I always people. I go back to this example, like Robert Johnson. People like that is the heart of the blues. Like Robert Johnson played, I think, anything and everything just to make a buck, and what survived was the blues. But I know he a lot of those guys were just internet musicians that played show tunes at anything they could just to make $1 to get to the next town. So anything that you think is authentic is also carefully thought out, and this is just another application of that idea. Be it the guitar or the synthesizer or something. I know. Now I'm being pretentious. There you go. I'm over the top.
You're being a little indulgent.
I am indulgent. This is the place where I can be indulgent because once the kids come home, there's no. It's all about trying to figure out what they want and all that kind of stuff. So it's true.
All right.
So to sum up,
Yeah, I think we should sum up. I
Okay,
don't know
you're
if
sad.
anyone's even
You're sad.
Sum up. Sad, Michael. Blade Runner, good. Yay, Ryan Gosling.
okay, even though I ruined it, let's talk about this tune that you recorded.
Yeah, I don't want to tell the story anymore.
Aww.
Well, I got to hear if it even worked.
Oh, I see.
Right. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The audience may or may not hear a tune.
Oh.
I know, right?
Oh.
Come on, artistic approval.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for being
And
on.
this is my second favorite Shannon face of the hour.
Let's see it again. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Surprises are in store. Ooh.
Well, I got asked if I would be part of this event happening around Christmas time locally, where I guess the Some Girls album is being performed.
Oh.
And because I'm,
What's
certainly
this?
a Some Girls dude,
Where?
I'm just gonna have to see
Oh.
if I'd be up for being involved in that.
Right.
And at first I did my mental, well, I don't know, I might throw up before I play. I don't know.
And who's that guy that does those songs anyway, man?
But then I decided, it's my fucking album. And so then got more specific. They said, well, will you sing a song? Actually, they said, will you sing 2 songs? We do Miss You and Just My Imagination. And I decided, I don't have the balls to do Miss You. I mean, that's kind of like, this whole topic's ridiculous because I think people should write their own fucking songs, starters.
Right.
And you're not going to sound like the Stone. You know what I mean? So
You're not going to sound like it. Why bother?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Play your own shit. But that defeats the purpose of the event. But I did decide, I don't have the balls. You know what I mean? You got to be like an actor for that kind of shit. You
That monologue-y part.
You got to be
yeah.
Mick
Yeah,
Jagger.
but this is where the indulgent, like
But you gotta
over the top
you gotta
art
be
can
Mick
come
Jagger, or
in.
you gotta be, I don't fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not me. But I said, yeah, but I could do just my imagination. But when I was thinking about it, and then when I went back and listened to it, I forgot like how kind of fast and rocking it is on the Stones version. I was like, well, I don't want to do that. 'Cause that's not right. I said, if I do it, I want to do it like, slow down,
Yeah.
and like I want to dim the lights. I
Yeah.
want it to be kind of like, where the people can kind of like make out or something. You don't want
Yeah.
it to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's make it different. Let's make it. So, that's how I want it. And I'm going to sit on a stool. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get,
Yeah.
let's get our groove on. Let's get
Right.
vibey with it. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing here? And so on my phone, I kind of did this real sentence and sent it to the, to people who were putting on the thing. I go, hey, yeah, I'll do it, but, I want to do it like this. And I don't want to have to. And they had hired a band to be the backing band for the night. I said, but I don't want to, like, be arguing with the drummer, like, slow it down, you know what I mean? I want
Yeah.
them to understand this is how we're going to do it, and it's going to be cool and embrace the vibe.
Right.
And the people who were putting on the event loved it. Loved the thing I sang, loved it. And they passed it on to the musical director of the cover band for this night. And he didn't want to have anything to do with that. He wanted to stay true to rocking and upbeat.
Right.
And so that then, once you then have something taken away,
Yeah.
well, then I started getting kind of pissed and kind of sad
Right.
about it. And
So
it's
that's
like,
why you're
Yeah.
sad.
That's yet another reason.
In addition to.
So, So anyway,
Well,
I'm bringing a little of that
I like
here.
it. I hope we have your approval because I really
I
dig
don't know.
it.
I'm gonna have to check it. I'm gonna have to have my people.
Yeah.
go through
So,
the fine
so
tooth
are
comb.
you doing the event though?
No, because I was
No.
kicked off.
Because
the
they would have
event.
been. I would have been like, I'm gonna come out here with a stool. You're gonna put a
Because-
mic by my
because,
phone, and then we're gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
You
Because
have a
the
problem
cover,
with
the
that?
cover band wasn't comfortable.
Ah,
wasn't
too bad.
comfortable getting the groove,
Yeah.
getting my vision of the groove on.
Well, you ask you to participate. That's always weird when they're like, yeah, we want you to
But it seems
participate,
like
but
you would let local artists kind of do their thing.
One
to
would
it,
think.
you
One
know?
would think.
outrageous.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we hope we get to play this.
Thanks.
All right. Well,
I'm so glad you came.
Yeah.
Thanks
thank
for
you for
having
having
me.
it'll be good.
Well,
This is it.
yeah, and
Boy, I don't know where
I
to
hope
go
you
from
get
there.
happier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the goats. Maybe it's the goats. You thought about that? Could be the
Maybe I
goats.
don't know.
Please come visit again.
Can I?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I've been waiting.
Bring Bowie.
You never did. Like
we might have
a soiree.
We
Yeah.
haven't. No.
Well, it may still happen eventually.
You never fix me up with any of your friends, Shannon. What's up with that?
I know.
You said you don't want to date anymore anyway.
Is that what it was?
Well,
What, and that
one
stopped
of,
you?
Hey, one of them actually moved to the West Coast and got married. Since the last time I was trying to hook you up. See,
so
that's how
scratch
fast
that one off the
yeah,
list. That's how
gotta-
quick it is.
I know.
It's like
Yeah.
eBay.
You gotta. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's like eBay.
Don't worry.
If you don't bid now,
Well,
you're out.
yeah.
If you don't accept the
Terms and
that
conditions.
price,
Yeah. Terms and
that's
conditions.
That's right.
Terms and conditions. All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael.
Phil wanted to get off that topic quick, didn't he?
Oh, no, okay, so
No,
she
we're good.
tried. Now I'll tell you about fixing up people. She tried to
If
fix
it's-
me up one
Yes. When I first met him.
Mm.
Well, see, that's funny you should say that because that's kind of the dude I am. It's like history has shown with me the rare times, a chick has tried to fix me up. Like I always go for the one who set me,
time. That's what happened in this case.
That's
Yeah.
right. So
yeah.
maybe it's
Yes,
maybe it's a condition.
well, I didn't at the time. I was not yet divorced, and then I found out like a couple of weeks later, my husband was cheating on me. So it was just
So it
like
worked out well for you.
it worked
Yeah,
out super
yeah,
well for him. He started immediately like messaging
Terms
me
and conditions,
saying,
baby. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Is
it's
there
true.
anything I can do?
I was crass. I think I was fairly crass about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
You gotta be.
I know.
Yeah.
My mom was like, he only wants one thing from a divorcee.
It's
I
true.
was
I came
like,
over there. I came
That
over
might
there.
be all I want, Mama.
I came over
Well,
there.
hey.
I came over there, with the Staples box to help her
Why
pack.
didn't we
and-
talk about this an hour ago?
And she said her mom like
and we watched The Fog.
I felt I was sitting next to Shannon, and her dad like took about 30 seconds to size me up and was like, "I'm going to bed." And I'm sitting.
Yep, I like this guy. We're
and
good.
I'm sitting there on the couch, and it felt like this laser beam was drilling into my. I started feeling really self-conscious, like like when you're 17 and you have to meet your date's parents, and I was just like starting to feel kind of antsy, like, oh, this is just, oh man, it's not feeling good. And I'd look over, and she would at her mom, and she just, had this kind of intense look on her face. It started making me really uncomfortable.
And I was sitting on the other side of him, and he didn't know I was doing this. And I was like, "Leave, get out of here, Mama, go!"
Oh yeah.
And my mom was just like, "No."
So yeah. But yeah. So
Finally, she left.
yeah, finally.
I made us a cup of tea,
that's right.
and we watched The Fog.
Right.
That's like your movie.
The Fog.
What?
Damn.
Yeah. Well, when you're older, and you're kind of like, I could die any minute.
So you better watch The Fog now.
Right. We're gonna. Right. This is a really good movie. It is. I don't really remember. I think we watched about 10 minutes. And
And that's the end of that story.
That's right. Getting shut down. All right. Well, take care, everybody. Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
Michael.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.